Hi everyone, I'm back. I know it's been a very long time, I think over a year at this point. A lot's been happening. I'm really sorry I haven't been giving you any updates lately. I was trying to make you a framework, but the routing and even the namespacing was getting a little weird. And I then had some other big things going on. Of course, my gaming channel, my other channels I wanted to keep alive, and writing a fifth novel. So there's been a lot happening. So I do apologize, but I did want to get back to everything. So we're going to do something different. We're going to call this a Let's Code. Now, on my gaming channel, CD Bookman Gaming, I have what are called Let's Plays, and that is when I just get a new game, turn it on, and play through it with you. So I figured I would do something similar with coding, seeing as how I have advanced, and I hope that my lessons with other frameworks and just in general have helped you to get to this point, because we're going to use a framework I have only tried once and haven't really done much with. And as you can see, we're talking Yii2, or as my cousin and I would say, Yii. So I think it's Yii2. Are they talking about a Yii3? One second. And obviously I have my what's this called again? My Microsoft, whatever this is called. What is this called again? Hold on. I always forget. Visual Studio. I always want to say Virtual Studio. It's Visual Studio. So if you don't have Visual Studio, it's free. You can download it, or you can use Notepad++. You can use Notepad. You can use whatever you want. It's PHP, baby. We do what we want to do. Now, I don't know if we have to use XAMPP here, but we're going to figure it out together. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our installation. We're going to go through everything here. They want you to do it through Composer. And let's get started. So what I usually do, and what we're going to do now, is I usually go through the tutorial that they have on the site, and then when I'm done and I think I understand, I simply make a site with it. Now, we're not really going to be doing any kind of like Ajax. We'll be doing JavaScript, but Ajax, I don't know how it works. We'll just go strictly out of Yii2's functionality. So let's see, and we're going to install this. Now, installing Composer, we already have Composer, don't have to worry about that. Installing Yii, okay, so we're doing this on Composer. So, you know what that means. Let's go into, now I don't think I need to go through, no, this would be, okay. So let's go to our terminal and get this crap out of here. These freaking messages. Look, I don't mind Visual Studio, but it's not perfect. And I think we're going to go, let's go to, let's just do this. I'm going to go to my base folder. Okay, so Composer, create project. Can you do it another way? Because I don't really, I mean, I don't mind this, but then you have to have like two versions of the whatever. All right. Okay. Prefer dist. That's two dashes, right? Prefer dist. Distribution, Yeesoft. And we're just going to do one video at a time, about a half an hour each. So this is going to take a while because I got so much else going on still. Once things start calming down, I'll put a little bit more emphasis on this. Okay, so I don't know, would that work? Because it's the, yeah, it'll work. And we're downloading and we're installing and all this other stuff. Loading Composer repositories. Now, the reason why I stopped doing it was because I originally was very much into the frameworks that, I don't want to say held your hand, but, you know, I love Laravel. CodeIgniter I don't mind. But I'm not big on stuff like Symfony and stuff, which we're going to do too. We'll get into Symfony. And just to give you some options if you're making websites. But really, what is a framework? A framework is pre-made functionality that is supposed to create an easier experience. Okay, so we have to go to that folder. Okay. And let's see. PHP Yii2. Okay, so what? So we installed Yii, but does that? Let me see. Well, what would the folder be? We have to get to the folder first. Well, let's take a look at our files. Oh, I gotta get rid of those. This PC. Okay, so it is called basic. All right, I'll call it basic. If that's what you want, that's what Seabass wants. Now let's do the PHP serve. Cannot open input file. Server started. Okay, so we're on 880. Well, it says it couldn't input anything, but it said that it's started. So HTTP localhost, and that would be 8080, right? It worked. Yay, we're in there. So that's not bad. We have a contact page that actually has a contact page and a verification code. Very nice. Log in. Okay. This looks fantastic. Run the following commands. See basic. Let's see. You should see the commands. If not, please check it. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. Recommended patching. Configuration. Is this if I were to do, okay, so let's see. If you're running your Yii2 recommended Apache. I mean, yeah, they kind of want you to do this. I would prefer not messing with the htaccess. But I think that's only if we're, wait. Use the following configuration, virtual host. Yeah, I don't know if that's what we're doing. Well, let's figure it out. Okay, so it's been installed. Okay, so now let's go. Wrong one. Let's go up here, and let's go to running applications. Applications says blah blah blah. Integrate. I don't give a shit about this. All right, let's put this in here then. So when you're using Visual Studio, what you want to do is you want to add a folder to the workspace, and what we're going to be adding is we're going to be adding our basic folder. Where is it? No, wait, hold on. See. Yes, I authorize them. Okay, so this is what we come with. We come with assets, obviously app assets. And let's see how many folders we have actually. Hello controller. Okay, so this is the controller. I mean, that's just an echo message. That's not a big deal. Message, hello world. We can change the message. Action index. So we're doing the action thing like we did with Fuel PHP. And namespace app commands, console, blah, blah, blah. Config, autocomplete. This is a, excuse me, I forgot what these are called when you have the double underscore. They're like, constructors. Public static app, classification. Okay, so we have that, we have the console, and this is, it's more or less just already forming. And then DB class. Everything seems to be in JSON form. For some reason people think this is easier to read. But a DB name is Yii2 basic. So can I get into that? I mean, I guess we'll worry about that later. And then we have an email. Test DB. That's if we're doing tests, which I don't test. Then we have the test itself. I mean, there's really not much here. It simply is identification. A config variable constantly being reconfigured. Site controllers. This is where everything kind of bases itself off of. And yeah, it just looks like we're making arrays here. It's like I want to get into these log out, log in contact because they already have everything configured. So obviously we're going to want to change this. Okay, content. This is the home page. Where do you have all that stuff? We got to figure that one out. Layouts. That's just the male. You got the female? Contact form. All right, so here's our contact form. They only have public name, email, subject, body, verification code. And they have their own version of whatever this, what is that called again? Well, it's like a security level. Set to mail, set from, set reply. So these are all functions that are in the compose, the mailer object. Where is the mailer object? I want to look at everything. Login, username, remember me, true. Remember that. This is that is a placeholder for an object. String, validate password. This has errors, so we have an has errors function. All these wonderful things we're going to get into. It's going to be so exciting. And then here's the user object itself. This all installs in the database, so we won't have to worry about any of this. I think we should be able to kind of mess with it. And that's comprehensive. Okay. It's just debug data, nothing to worry about there. Test. I mean, do we really need to look at this? Acceptance tester. Garbage. Bootstrap. Pull up from your bootstraps. Okay, we have a YAML files here. I mean, all this little stuff just somehow makes things work. I don't know. I mean, this is why groups make this stuff. It's not one person. One person doesn't make any application really. All right, so is there anything vendor? B8. Let's see, build YAML. Nothing really. I don't. The YAML files. I don't really. Composer JSON. All that you can do with a simple command if you use. Well, you can use it on Composer, and I forgot. It's like some kind of config thing, and it just gives you this Composer JSON, and then you can mess with it. That's pretty much how they get their namespacing working so seamlessly. .bot files. I mean, really want to look at these. There's nothing to see here. Okay. Let's take a look at. I mean, there's just so much shit. This is all JavaScript. No JavaScript. jQuery, blah, 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 blah. What would it be? I mean, I don't want to look at all of this. Jeez. Look at all that. It just exploded into this shit. Okay, assets. This is all JavaScript. Views. Here are the layouts, the main view. So we can mess with this. Let's mess with this for a bit. Let's see if we can read this together. All right, so this is all functionality, not main. Blah, 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 blah. So let's say main. We're going to keep that open, I'm sorry. Let's go back to my application. Let's see if we can find the congratulations. Well, actually, no, wait, this is the main. No, I'm looking in the wrong spot. Sorry. Site. This is what we're looking for. Index. So, title my application, let's call it Yii. And let's save that, and let's see how it changes. There it is. Okay, so this is, if you wanted to mess with this page, you would do it over here. in the site, views, and there is no congratulations. You have failed miserably. Success is only determined in that which you achieve for others. Okay. Obviously, you don't have to write this. And they're also immediately they're linking off of a bootstrap or something like that. So we're gonna look at the style files. See, and there you have this. So, but like this is total bootstrap. We've never done bootstrap. We are not doing bootstrap. Bootstrap is trash. Yeah, I mean it's not trash. It's just trash. So let's see. We already know media. This right here, I never really got into this with you guys, but the CSS, when you see this, these like greater than signs, it's kind of defining specifically. So like you have a nav li, and then within the li there would be a form, and then there would be a form, and then there would be a button. So it's like there's no point to doing that. I think it's just to show off, make it look confusing to people. But if we're not going to mess with this, but if we were to do something like, let me see. Okay, there's one of the htaccess files. If we were to do something like, let's go back to the site, CSS. So if I were to put in a, oh yeah, there's the footer. If I were to put in, if I were to just mess with the footer and say height of 80, right? You lying scumbag. Let's go like this. Let's make our own class here. Let's say, wait, is this the right one? Because, no, that's Bootstrap. So this is your own personal, because that's not here. So, but if I were to say something along the lines of, let's go, heading, let's say body content H2. And I would say font weight bold. So, and then that makes it bolder. So if we were to go anywhere else, we modify, you're right, so this is where we can modify that. If we wanted to go to views and about, that's this. All right. So now I can say, I can throw in body content yet again. And I could say H2, where we're still bolding, baby, kick. And then it would still be in there because this layout includes the site CSS. So that's where you would get that's how you would get the CSS and these assets are, why would I put it in like that? All right, so now let's look at how you would include all this. Okay, where is your, all right, this title, div class, site index, blah, 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 but how would you get, where's your header? Let's take a look. Site index, Jumbotron. See, Jumbotron, this is, when you see stuff like Jumbotron, when you see stuff like MT5, MB5, that's all Bootstrap. But now I just want to see where the header is. Let's look at widgets. Oh, just alert, no big deal. Because if we can find the header, we can mess with that as well. Should be in some semblance of includes. Let's see. whenever you see these files like Symfony or everything, what that means is that it's piggybacking off of another framework. Symfony was one of the first, if not the first, PHP frameworks. I am not a big fan of it. I've only kind of used it a couple of times, but it's just not. It's not my thing. So let's see. Where is your autoload? That's what it's called. That's what you download. Autoload. You just put in like composer autoload, and it gives you all that. Where I'm just looking. This is what I do when I start with frameworks. I just look for everything to mess with it. Okay, where are your headers? Site control. I mean, this is text layout. Yeah, that's garbage. Okay, can I close this? Get rid of that. It's too much junk. Symfony. Get rid of all that. I just want to see the stuff that we need. Okay. Acceptance. Blah blah blah. Test. Get rid of tests. Get rid of runtime. Controllers. Mail. Anything. Close that. Models. We're going to keep open for now. Nope. I just want to get your header. Hold on. Let me take a look. Let me inspect this. Head. Okay. So, Fav icon assets. Right. That's where they're getting the bootstrap. D7. That's where they're getting that. So if you wanted to use bootstrap, it would be in the assets, D7, that's CSS, and then you get all this. This is all bootstrap, and if you're curious, you can just go to get bootstrap. It's a website called getbootstrap.com, and it's just a CSS framework. So all that stuff that we always do, you get it here, and you go to docs, and you can just download like a quick start here, blah, 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 or you can download it on the examples. You can download like these examples and stuff, but we don't use Bootstrap. We just make it up. But this is where it is. This is where all the Bootstrap files are if you download them. And they also have Bootstrap. This is so that it Bootstrap like all the drop downs and everything. That's the JavaScript that's required for it to work. That's if you want to do. Oh, what's this? Is this the JavaScript? Let's see if we can get. Those are the files. Let's see if we can get the JavaScript to work. I would think it would be in assets, right? So it doesn't have to be in here. What's this? All right, so they have jQuery as well if you wanted to use jQuery. We never got into jQuery. I used to use it all the time. jQuery is a JavaScript framework that is, you download functions and it makes using JavaScript a little easier. So instead of get element by ID and whatever, you just use $, put in brackets. There are certain elements, and you can either download it straight up or you can just kind of do, let me see. You can just kind of copy and paste the functions. I don't think this would actually, this just takes me to a page, right? Okay. So you can either install it using, Yarn or whatever, or Node, or you can simply download like the lines and put it in a file. We don't really use jQuery at this point, but that's what that is. But I just want to see, okay, so it's there. So if I were to say, because the reason why I'm looking is we have to include it. And there's nothing here. I got to find the, let's see, title. I have to find in order to know how it works. But then again, we'll just look at the tutorial. We'll figure it out that way. All right, screw this. Let's look at the tutorial. Let's figure it out. Because they'll tell you in the tutorial. So, saying hello. Creating an action. Okay, section's going to be create an action in a view. How to create an action, respond to request. How to create a view, blah, blah, blah. For the hello, you'll create a say action. Say. The request does not provide messages. Okay, actions between controllers, blah, 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 blah. So, site controller extend, action say. So we go to the site controller, which is already there. I'll close you out. And this is what we've already seen, right? Login, index, blah, yada, Buddha. So let's go down here and let's go public function action say, right? And do I need to pass anything? I do not. So let's see. Bite me. We'll say bite me, just to make it, just so you know it's not. We're not doing exactly what it says. And we're going to return this render. Did you have to let it render? Did you have to return this render? And we're going to send the okay, so we send that, and then the message itself. So the message array. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at, oh, the function. Okay, so the render function itself is, it's sending up the function say, which eliminates the action portion, and then it's giving out the data array. So let's go like this. All right. And then we're going to create a view. So hello task. Did I have to, let me see, web controller. Site. Okay, so namespace app controllers is fine. I was able to, I'm supposed to put the site controller, okay. Extends controller. I don't know if it wants me to make a new one, but use Yii web controller. Oh, it's right there. Okay, never mind. Did I have to make a new one? I wasn't sure if they wanted me to do that. Okay, so views or scripts, blah, 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 yada, yada. Okay, so creating a view. So we have to go to views. Where are the views? Views. We were in the assets. That's not the views. No, that is the views. Okay, so we have to go to site, right? Okay, so view site say. HP. And we go. Actually, keep it open-ended. Oh. Put that in here for now. I don't like when they introduce you to sloppy coding. It just drives me nuts. Helpers, HTML. All right, looking almost like cake here. And then we just do HTML and code. So we're outputting a class and code message. So I would put in, yeah, like we got to fix that. That looks like crap. So index site say index site. Yeah, you don't want that kind of 2F say message. Oh, okay, 2F say. And then the variable equals yo ma. All right, so we've talked about this with the URL, how it's just looking for information in the question mark. From that question mark, after the the .php from that question mark, you would put in the variables, what it's looking for, what it's going to output. Where was it? Oh, I didn't put the. Oh, my fault. Forgot. Are you a PHP user or you're not? And then it says Yoma. So let's see how this works. Let's just kind of go through this with you because it will seem very confusing if you're new to all this. Public function actions say this is the format in which Yii2 puts everything. The actions say is the function for the controller that we're using on what's called the site controller, which is where we are here. And the way it works is you name the function within the controller, action, whatever, and then you put in a message. And this is just like a placeholder. Like if we didn't put anything in there, if we just put say, it would say bite me, because we have defaulted it with this pass, that the message equals bite me. And if we didn't put anything in there at all, and put in wait, what was it? No, okay. We have to do message equals yo ma. It would say yo ma, but if we didn't put anything in there at all, it would have bad requests because we didn't put in, we didn't fulfill the parameter. And if we put in at message equals, well, we can't put, just put at message. I think it might give me another, no, it'll just say yo ma. Well, that's because it defaulted to that. It would say nothing if we didn't put anything there. So this is telling the URL when it says render say is serving as this function. And this is the PHP we were looking at. I think it was PHP call user function. Yeah. That's what this is referring to. So if you look at the manual, rejoice, if you look at the manual, you said call user func array. Like this is what it's doing. This is a call user func array, and it's the function itself is named render, and what we're doing is we're calling the function of the controller here, which is say. We're calling that, and then we're taking this message array that we told it to look for, that we passed, and we're giving it its value. So when you go up here, it's looking for you to input a value. And the reason why we're putting plus is so that it knows that there's a space. This is just how URLs are read. Okay? Now, is that the first? That is the first lesson, more or less. And we're going to return. We're going to play with this a little bit more. And that's what she said. We're going to work with forms. We're going to work with databases. And we'll get an idea as to how Yii2 is used. And then we're just going to make a website with it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed this format. And I hope you learn a lot from it. If you did enjoy, please subscribe, and we're back, man. Rocket Site is back. Let's have some fun. Let's learn and have some fun. I will see you then.